All right, folks, we're on round 6 of the Win a Duel Legacy Tournament here at Parker Banner Canton Wayne in Cornelius, North Carolina, just north of the wonderful city of Charlotte. Here we have Jesse Inman on Jeskai Mentor on the left, and we have Byron Bonilla on Grixis Control on the right. Excellent.
My name is Marvin Reyna, and I am joined here by Sir David Attenborough, apparently. Our top 2 matches decided to ID, so
Curiously.
chose these two. It's an interesting deck. Only Jeskai Mentor deck here today, and the only Grixis Control deck. So this should be a fun little matchup.
I would say this is going to be a very interactive matchup. We have Grixis Control, which is a heavily interactive deck, but it has the ability to win the game with Snapcaster Mage. And we have on the left Jeskai Mentor, which seeks to win through the use of Monastery Mentor.
Oh, he made a happy face for us on camera.
Excellent.
A lot of interaction in his deck as well. Let's see, Force Negation 3 days, 4 Source of Plowshares, 4 Force of Will.
I expect to see a lot of counter spells and Force of Will. So Jesse Inman has, I see Force Negation in hand, and it looks like he's immediately going to fetch that Flooded Strand away. Get himself a black bordered volcanic island. Let's see what he does. There's a Darcy. It's a bold move. Oh, I see Thought Seized right off the top for there, and an Underground sees the draw for turn. Here comes that Thought Seize. I think he's deciding if he wants to force a negation or just let it resolve. So that's exactly what he's going to do. I see Ponder, force a negation. I can't tell what that other card is.
Island, Tundra.
There's
Be right back, chat. My mom is calling. Where's my mom calling?
I can't quite tell what that other card is. Maybe it's just another Tarn. I'm going to get rid of that. What did he get rid of? I guess the Force. Yeah, there's the Tarn. Here comes a swift tickle from the Darcy here. Unfortunately, they didn't put up the life total, so I'm assuming that, let's see, Byron took 2 from the Thoughtseize. Now he's going to take another. It's going to 17, 16. So he's going to 16 right now. Get himself a swamp. I think that's him. Yeah, he's opting if he wants to force that or not. Is that a Judge Force of Will? That'd be pretty neat. I haven't seen one of those in a while. I mean, I'm usually never... Is that... No, that's... Yeah, that is him, Tora. I was going to say, that looked almost like Demonic Consultation, but I know that he's not playing that. So those Ice Age printings where everything's just dark. He's opting to force it. Using a Force of Negation over the Force of it. I guess that just exiles us out of the yard. Yeah, that's it. Interesting. So he's not gonna use that fetch yet, saving it for something. Maybe for brainstorm, fetching away cards that aren't needed. It's the only thing I think of. No, he's gonna fetch right now though. Can't quite make out whatever either of his hands are. I think he's got another black bordered volcanic island. I guess he's not worried about finding that white fermentor. Oh, there it is. And there's a mentor. Such a good card against everyone. The fact that it makes 1/1 with prowess every time it's cast is really gross, especially against this Grixis control list. They need to deal with this now, otherwise it could get out of hand before they can cast a damnation. Which is he playing damnation? Let's take a look at these lists here. He's got Days Undoing, Hidetsugu, Lightning Bolt, Soren the Mirthless, Sudden Edict. I'm not seeing Fury. Yeah, if he makes too many tokens, he'd have to clean it up with a Hidetsugu if he can kill the Mentor itself. But it is really well positioned at the moment, and don't actually see any damnations in this list. I guess they don't really need it, huh? He's definitely looking for something, though. I think he's actually just looking through his deck now to see what he has there. He's gonna get a volcanic island. Maybe... I know he's Sudden Edict. Should probably take care of the Darcy, but after that it's a useless card. Not gonna really do anything. It's either that or he's gonna brainstorm looking for that bolt or push. Which he does run a single fatal push. Yeah, I think that's what he's gonna do right now. Doesn't find it. Drew a thought signals, which isn't helping at the moment. Yeah, it honestly looks like this Mentor is about to take the game over once when he starts casting stuff into it. Because he also gets Darcy triggers on top of it. Which means that every spell he casts is going to filter. What all does he have? He's not showing me. It's going to be a big turn, though. If he has any of his cantrip spells, this Mentor is going to get ridiculous quickly. Not really sure what he's looking to do right now, though. Okay, so he's just going to swing in. No casts. Interesting. He's a Snapcaster. I'm surprised he didn't want to cast that before damage, just to get a little bit of extra reach in there with that Monastery Mentor. There is a Ponder. Got a trigger off of both the Mentor and the Darcy. Get one of those 1/1s of prowess. Getting a land off the Darcy, and then here comes the Ponder. And really all he needs to do is keep cantripping. And if he can't deal with that Mentor directly, he still has a token and a Darcy and a Snapcaster to deal with on top of it. Just using to shuffle away that Ponder, though. Let's see what he draws off it, though. Good telling. There's an island, and there's another ponder. We get some triggers here. Another land. I see another island and then 2 other cards. He's keeping that one. He's gonna pass it down. Look at all that coverage he has on his side of the board, though. Now that Sudden Edict is completely dead. You can just choose to sack the Snapcaster or one of the tokens. I'm probably going for the Snapcaster. Okay, it's just going to go ahead and scoop it up. We're going into game 2 with Jesse Inman up 1 on Byron Bonilla. Jesse Inman on Jeskai Mentor and Byron on Grixis Control. Let's go ahead and update this. There it is. Yeah, it seems like this Grixis Control needs to have more answers for something like Mentor. They're running a lot of 1-for-1 type deals. Mentor can get out of hand so quickly. I expect Byron to want to bring in his Elemental Blasts, some Pyro Blasts. Goal against Command's not bad. Maybe a Flusterstorm, maybe. And Jesse has Pyroblast, 4 Pyroblast, 2 Flusterstorm. Yeah, most likely he's going to go with that. Yes, this is round 6. So after this round, we will be going into top 8. We had a few IDs, and this is the top match that was going to be played out. I have to admit, it is tiring to cast 6 rounds of Magic plus top 8. But we're sticking through it. We're just waiting for some sideboarding and then mulligans to resolve, and then we can begin game 2. So far, Jesse Inman is up 1 game against Byron, who's on Grixis Control. Jeskai Mentor's been around for quite some time. I'm glad to see it back here and putting up some good results. Legacy meta has been pretty warped around Modern Horizons too. I mean, Ragavan pretty much. Ragavan, Darcy, and Murktide gave Delver a lot more tools than it really needed, because even without them, Delver was strong. So Ragavan was banned. Well, come bring me coffee and cake, Paxton. I'm busy doing this. I don't have time to go get coffee and cake. Alright, so it looks like they're probably done sideboarding, so now they're going to start shuffling. And from there, we should have a nice interactive game of Magic. Hopefully a little bit more interactive than the last one. Pretty much, it just Jesse cast Mentor, and the Mentor stuck around. So, we'll see. I can board down some of those Source of Heat Shears. Makes sense, considering it's not going to be going against creatures.
I thought about the crab. Honestly, I was like, I way smarter. I was like, I don't want guys don't get concerned. I'll just be there.
I'm not entirely sure if there's going to be a break in between this round and top 8. Usually there's like a 45-minute break in between the two, but we only have one judge for this event. So for all I know, we could just go straight into top 8 and then I'll just check sideboards. We shall see what he ends up deciding. But so far, I mean, actually, you know, everything's been going smoothly here. Just wait for mulligans to resolve. Then we'll be going to some thrilling interactive Magic. They checked complete deck lists. That's a lot of decks for one guy to check. We'll see if that's the route he ends up going. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start. Hopefully they'll keep their hands and we'll be able to see some extreme fast-acting Magic. As you see, he's doing the smiley face with his cards. Let's see if Byron wants to keep his hand. He's going to throw it away. Most likely not interactive enough. As we saw last game, he needs to be able to interact with that Monastery Mentor. And if he can't, I mean, it just takes the game over. So many cards, or so many tokens it can make in just one turn. Especially with the amount of damage it can do on top of it, since everything has prowess. See if he's opting to keep this one. Can't quite tell what he kept though. Scalding Tarn and just a pass from Byron. Looks like Jesse's gonna go ahead and fetch on his turn. Most likely gonna play a Darcy this turn. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna probably play Darcy, set up a similar situation like he did last turn or last game. No, it's just gonna be a ponder. Okay. Choosing to ponder now. Most likely doesn't have a mentor in hand. Could be very wrong though, but I think I see it. Is that a mentor in that tile? That's a swords or a mentor? Yeah, it's a swords. That's a Ice Age sword simulation. He's choosing to keep him like that. He's gonna go ahead and didn't see what he topped. Neither of these players are giving me any help with their hands. I see a fatal push to the right on the Byron side, which does deal with them mentally. As long as it resolves. Matches out an island. Probably want to stay away from Blood Moon or not entirely sure. Back to basics maybe, but I mean, his opponent did play a volcanic island. It's a wasteland. Doesn't help him here. Ledger Shredder. I know earlier today I was talking about the power of a Ledger Shredder in this format, or just any format. Multi-format All-Star, good even in Vintage. The fact that it's a 1/3 that quickly becomes a 2/4, loots after 2 spells of each player. I mean, it's just so much value. Because it's the last round before top 8, the crowd here has dwindled significantly. I think we ended up with 36 here for this one. A little bit less than we had last time, but that's okay. Fury is the draw for Byron. He's got Narset in hand as well as a... I wouldn't block that if I were you. Not sure exactly what he's worried about. Second Strix. He's trying to get his 3rd land. And he finds Prismatic Fist. There's that. A lot of basics in Byron's deck. I think I'm counting 2, 3, 5. 5 basics? I guess that's not too much. But, yeah, this Wasteland's virtually doing nothing at the moment. Here comes a Ponder. Usually that's going to lead to a second trigger of that Ledger Shredder, especially since he has Brainstorm in that pile. Can't tell. Is that a Darcy? Yeah, it's a Darcy. He's got Darcy Brainstorm lane. I'm gonna keep him like that. Draw. He needs to find a way to deal with these Strixes, though, if he ever wants to attack. Mystic Sanctuary, a couple Ponders, Swords to Plowshares, Iteration. Another Ponder, and then he's going to trigger that first, the Red Ledger Shredder. You draw, and then you discard, so he has to draw that regardless. Maybe shoot after this, see if we could hit that one. I need an energy drink or something. I'm fading fast. The thing about these control mirrors, they're not over quickly. Although that first game actually did go very fast, considering the matchup. Oh, really? Okay, so this is going to be the last match before top 8. There is no backup match, unfortunately. But I have a feeling this is going to go for a long time. 2 Strixes on Byron's side. That means that he can't attack in with that Ledger Shredder, which is now a 3-6. Or 3-5. Sorry, it's a 3-5. Math is hard. Byron weighing his options, but he's gonna get busy with that one Strix. Guess you gotta have a clock somehow. Byron's hand has a Pyroblast in it, as well as a few no lands though, so he missed a land drop. Gets that iteration out of his hand. I think he might try to fire off that Pyroblast for it though. He's letting it resolve. There's a lightning bolt. So now that he has Swords to Plowshares and the lightning bolt, should be able to deal with those Strixes pretty easy. That looks like he's gonna cast it.
Sorry, Vinny. Island. They're not splitting. The top four right there. No, top 4 is splitting. Those 2 are playing for the hell of it.
And no. They said it's currently against
Byron?
I asked.
No.
On the stream, they said they were playing.
Byron.
Both.
Yeah. That table was supposed to be. Byron's table was supposed to be Owen and this other guy. The ID.
Well, Charlie.
So we put Byron there. Charlie, they told me they were gonna.
I asked, "What are you guys playing for fun?" They said, "Nope, tournament."
We got some drama here. No, the taco truck is not here, unfortunately.
Doobie doobie doo. All right.
I tell you what, Marvin, I need to get an energy drink really badly. I'm fading fast.
Go get a drink. I'm on like my 5th bottle of water, but I've lost 2, so I don't know how much water I drink.
That's a lot of water.
And I've only peed once today, so I do apologize for my absence. I was stuck with a baby Dachshund in my hand. Little wiener dog.
It's really cute. It's the new shop dog.
No, the taco truck is not here.
Yeah, I told him. There's an Elemental Blast. That seems like it'd be really good right now. Which he agrees. Okay, I will be right back. I'm gonna go get an energy drink. I'm gonna go get an energy drink.
Nothing but basics. Does he play Blood Moon in the main? I think he does.
I didn't remember seeing it. None of them.
All right, so we see the red elemental blast on the ledger shredder here. In a swing for one with the Baleful Strix. Let's see, in hand we got a Fury. Right, Fury, Force Negation, or Force of Will. Pyroblast. And then he plays Mystic Sanctuary of Return and targets Expressive Iteration to put back on top of his library.
Okay. I'm back.
Byron draw the Brainstorm for turn. So he Pyrokinesis, I believe. I don't know what that card is.
I think it's just Pyroblast. Or is that Pyrokinesis? What is that?
I don't know. He played 2 Darcy, cast that, killed
A Strix.
Strix. Surveil trigger, kept card on top. Mystic Sanctuary, put Expressive Iteration on top of his library.
Yeah, Expressive Iteration with, especially Darcy's, is such a huge tempo swing.
So much advantage.
Yeah, it's 5 cards you're seeing. Well, possibly 5 cards. If you like the top one, then you just keep that top one. What kind of music you listening to lately, Marvin?
What was the last thing I listened to? Fame on Fire?
I don't even know who that is. Have you heard the new Lorna Shore?
I didn't know they came out with a new album.
No, a new single. It sounds like the last 3. Which I guess isn't a bad thing. They're decent songs. But...
I don't know the name of the actor, but have you heard of the movie Army of Thieves?
I know of Sea of Thieves and Army of Darkness. I do not. I have not.
Army. The actor's name is Matthias.
Mateus? Schweighofer.
Yes.
I've never heard of him.
He
mean,
reminds me of a lead singer of Lonely Shore.
Except Will is a tiny man.
He is, but if let me see if I can find him in.
Will is an incredible singer, but he's a tiny man.
Yeah, this one. It's like.
Oh, okay.
Hair.
I sort of see it,
Yeah.
yeah. The broccoli hair. Hey, chat, can you tell me why kids these days are trying to resemble vegetables? Like with the, it's like a, they shave the sides and back, but they leave this big curly mess on top. Like broccoli
A big, huge, unruly mess.
or cauliflower, which are basically just white broccoli.
No, cauliflower, it has no taste.
But cauliflower, have you ever had cauliflower rice?
I've had cauliflower everything in my many failed attempts at keto. And it's always good the first time you try it. The second time, nothing.
Okay, so here's a
Ooh.
Narset part of ales.
Kind of not gonna let somebody connive.
Yeah. So would he just end up
Ooh, I think he'll just end up discarding.
discarding? Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and check that ruling. I'd like to know myself. Speaking of music, I would recommend checking out Archspire's latest album, Bleed the Future. It's been on repeat for the last, I think it's almost been out a year, but it's incredible. Would highly recommend if you like incredibly talented musicians. Probably my album of the year. Of last year. I can't even remember. I'm gonna look this up. I want to see if it came out this year or last year. I don't remember.
You know, I'm trying to look it up here, and there's a judge like 10 feet away. Let me go ask the judge.
Okay. Yeah, I believe The Future came out in October last year. So yeah, it's best album last year, and so far of this year as well. We got. I wish I knew what the life totals were. Let me see if Marvin can get the life totals. Hey Marvin, can you get their life totals? I don't know what life totals are at. This is such a crazy interactive matchup. This opponent's got a Fury in hand, which it'll be able to kill one of these things, but not all of them. Unless he somehow gets rid of the graveyard and then kills the two Darcys. And I see a Force of Will in Jesse's hand. Yeah, Marvin's going ahead to get life totals here. I want to see how close this is. What's the life total?
Byron is currently sitting at 11, and Jesse is at 16 life. And according to the judge, if he had already drawn for turn and cast 2 spells and goes to connive, he cannot draw the card and is forced to discard.
That would make sense. So Narset's going to eat the dust, but that Ledger Shredder is going to get Pyroblasted away. Jesse choosing not to force a will. But he's going to cast that Ponder that was in exile from that iteration. think we need to get a few of those gamer chairs over here. Like the ones that are like race car seats.
Yeah, those things are not comfortable whatsoever.
They're not?
I have one, and I've had it for a while. And I don't think, for as long as we sat today, I would be in pain sitting in it right now.
Really?
Like, I think a good office chair. Or maybe that setup from Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
That reclining. Sit on my face.
Classic.
How did he see me?
If you haven't seen Grandma's Boy, I would recommend it. I know that a lot of Zoomers don't watch any older films, but that's one of the ones that stands the test of time.
And so does The Fifth Element, which is currently on Hulu.
And it's also on Prime.
Oh, nice.
I just watched it with the kids the other day.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
Had to make sure that they don't see the end. Or the very end of it. Rest of the movie's fine for kids, I guess. He's gonna Fury, and he's just gonna evoke it, which means he can kill one of the Darcys, but it's just gonna eat a force. But Byron has a force of his own, which I think he's gonna opt to use, pitching that brainstorm. There's the force. Let's see if he has some counterplay. Looks like he does. Let's fetch for another volcanic. That is a playset of black bordered volcanic. And that's a Judge Force Will, isn't it?
Yeah. And I believe those volcanic islands are the only cards in this deck that are not foiled.
Yeah, you can't get those in foil.
If you did, we'd be calling a judge for a different reason.
Okay, so he's gonna... Geez, that's so much back and forth. So this is actually a 2-turn clock at this point. But he's got a Sorin in hand, which blocks one of them, and he'll gain some life off of it. But he's gonna lose that Sorin in one turn. I'm actually curious to see that card in Legacy. But it seems like it's pretty good. Makes a blocker, can draw you cards technically. You lose life because of it, but it seems like a good enough card. Yeah, that is a Sorin the Mirthless.
Legacy?
He's gonna make a vampire. Vampire Nighthawks. I think it has Death Touch too. Doesn't it have Death Touch? Flying or life.
Flying lifelink. 2/3 vampire creature token with
So
flying.
it doesn't have
lifelink.
flying lifelink Death Touch. Okay. There's an iteration, which, as I mentioned earlier, with 2 Darcys on the battlefield, that is a lot of card advantage. It's gonna get a wasteland. Just gonna take care of that underground sea. So I have a feeling Sorin's gonna bite the dust this turn. Oh, there's a Mentor. You can't cast it though. Have access to white.
You know, for a second there, I forgot that this was a Jeskai deck.
Well, yeah, he hasn't been fetching out his Tundra. He's checking his massive graveyard. He's not even milling anything. But, yeah, he's going to bend that Mentor. I guess he doesn't really need it at this point. I think Byron's at 4. Yeah, he's gonna choose to just get rid of that Sorin right now. Not choosing to block though.
No, Sorin's at 2. If they're both going to Sorin, then what's the point of blocking?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he's currently in top deck mode, so Brainstorm's a good one to have. He needs Fatal Push and Bolt.
Land, Narset.
Narset. I don't think that's going to do it. I think he can survive one turn after this, and that's it. He's probably going to keep...
Looks like he's probably at 9.
Oh, I think Byron's lower than that. He's been attacking him with Darcy's and Shredders. There's a Brainstorm.
About to binge watch again, so the final season's for me. Yeah. I gotta be up to date.
I'm in the May, it's the final saga. So what are you up to?
I think I see another Mentor in that Brainstorm pile.
Okay,
Does he have a means to cast it though? I can't tell if that's a flooded strand there. All this glare is hard to tell.
And it's all foiled.
Yeah.
He wanted to include big moments. It's pretty interesting. Big moments. Big Mom was fucking big. I can't say Big Mom is fucking big. Like, the series is sick. Suppose, I'll tell you, Rick puts in work at him. He just takes over and they go, I'm the main character.
Oh, now he can cast that Mentor.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling
Probably,
you.
yeah, there it is. There's the Tundra.
Yeah. If I'm new, reading is faster. Just fucking read it. Like, I fucking, you know, it's like
I have a feeling we're gonna. Yep, here's the
I read
Mentor.
most of it in one day. Like,
And here comes the Darcy's.
like when
I
we
can't tell what his life total is. I should have been keeping track of this, but. Yep, there's that fetch. I can't tell.
yeah.
Byron can't be at a high life total, so he might have to just tank back
Naruto,
for a turn.
you have that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So you love Naruto.
Either way, it's not looking too great for him. He needs.
Naruto's not bad.
It's almost like he needs like land Strix.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a Narset.
Like,
So if he finds Bolt or Push, it'll be okay for him. But he needs to decide if he wants to search for that Bolt or Push.
He's my fucking guy, bro. I fucked with
He's
him.
opting to go for the Bolt.
He's my guy.
No joke.
Joe, you know, the thing is, like, Sasuke's like, yeah, I got the charm on it. So, but what about this?
It's just a bunch of cantrips.
You can't see.
And we are now going into turns. Byron being turn 0.
He hit him in the initial loading, and then he's like, chill, bro, we can't show them how strong we are. And then, I was dead. Yeah, I was like, thought Sasuke was one of the best guys in the show. Like, that shit is
We are having a Naruto conversation right next to us.
How weird they are.
yeah.
Power level conversation about Naruto.
Nobody beats Rock Lee. And that's the end.
Guy.
Okay, so I think he's wondering if it's worth.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, like,
I mean, he has to block one of the Darcys, I think.
That's what made me real.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit rock like some random dude in the village.
Yeah.
It was, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's holding on to though.
Give it time. No, but dude. Yeah, we should have.
He did have the bolt in hand, right?
Who? Jesse? No. He drew a ponder off of the Narset. He was looking for a bolt.
They don't know what the flake is over there.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to block the Darcy.
Okay, yeah. But I guess I mean, we don't have it on the fucking system. Yeah. They keep track of it.
I guess I don't know what he ended up drawing. Maybe a land, or it's a force. Byron is going to ponder. hopefully find some form of interaction for these creatures, because if he doesn't, I mean, at this point, he's just dead. Spell Pierce, Ponder, he's going to shuffle that all away. Needs Bolt or Push, and probably more. A Hitotsugu Consumes All would actually be really good in this spot. Should get rid of the Darcy's. It wouldn't get rid of the Mentor, though, but could keep him alive for a turn. Nope, he draws land. So now he's digging with Narset. Pyroblast. Yep, that's it. Byron's going to go ahead and, or Jesse's going to take this one 2-0 over Byron Bonilla.
So it looks like that was the last match we were waiting for. We will return with our top 8 announcement. This was the last round, so 4-1.
I watched the fucking
Yeah, so
dude, that fucking thing is sick.
yeah, we'll be back in a bit to announce who your top 8 will be, and then we'll get into matches from there.
You know what I'm talking about? Bill giving us one smoke. Yeah. I'm like, bro, I hope he shows up and shine.